Welcome to Speak English Now podcast with your host, Georgiana, the podcast that will help you to speak English fluently with no grammar and no textbooks.
Okay, let's move on to the next section. Here I use the point of view technique. The main benefit of this technique is that it'll help you to learn grammar intuitively, without boring exercises or memorizing rules. This is how it works. I'll tell you a short story more than one time. Every time, I will change a grammar point. For example, I can change the tense or the person. This way, you will intuitively recognize the changes. Okay, let's start. Marianne applied for a job and soon she was working in London as a bartender. She didn't know a word of English, so she made the customers point on a menu to know what they wanted. She got very frustrated because she thought she would never learn English. The only thing she could do was to pay more attention to what customers and her colleagues said. The first month, she didn't see any improvement. However, after 2 months, she started to pick up isolated words, most of them related to food and drinks. It was a small step, but she got excited and paid more and more attention to the conversations. Soon, she could communicate with the customers by using very short sentences, all related to work. She started to go out with some colleagues, and she could practice her listening even more. In a pleasant and relaxed environment, she could practice her limited conversation skills. After 1 year, she was able to have meaningful conversations with customers, colleagues, and new friends. Little by little, she was getting used to English. She was very happy with the results. Very well, let's change the point of view to the present tense. Marianne applies for a job and soon she's working in London as a bartender. She doesn't know a word of English, so she makes the customers point on the menu to know what they want. She gets very frustrated because she thinks she will never learn English. The only thing she can do is to pay more attention to what customers and her colleagues say. The first month, she doesn't see any improvement. However, after 2 months, she starts to pick up isolated words, most of them related to food and drinks. It's a small step, but she gets excited and pays more and more attention to the conversations. Soon, she can communicate with the customers by using very short sentences, all related to work. She starts to go out with some colleagues and she can practice her listening even more. In a pleasant and relaxed environment, she can practice her limited conversation skills. After 1 year, she can have meaningful conversations with customers, colleagues, and new friends. Little by little, she's getting used to English. She's very happy with the results. Okay, this is the end of this short point of view. As you can see, just by changing a point of view of a story, you can learn grammar intuitively. Today, you have practiced the past and present in the third person. Have you noticed how the verbs change? This is one of the techniques that I use in my courses. You can listen to more stories like this one. Visit courses.speakenglishpodcast.com. Okay, this is the end of this episode. Remember to listen to it several times. It will help you with your English. See you next week and have an awesome day. Goodbye.
Did you enjoy today's episode? Get the transcript now at speakenglishpodcast.com. speakenglishpodcast.com.